What is up, guys? Welcome to another video on my channel. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how you can turn your piss yellow, beat it up Air Jordan 11s into something that's not only one of a kind, but it's a custom that I cannot find anywhere, whether it be Google, YouTube. I looked endlessly for hours trying to find if anyone else has done this. So I'm claiming right now that I am the first one to do this custom and show you guys this custom. And I want to share this secret with you guys because the way these Space Jams came out is probably like something you've never seen before. As you guys know, Space Jams are notorious for turning piss yellow. Not only do they do that because of the oxidation, but realistically it happens because it's a clear sole and it's just going to turn piss yellow. It is what it is. In this video, I'm going to show you guys how you can transform that shoe into this shoe. If you guys are new here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. A lot of my content can be snowboarding, sneakers. Really, if you just want to vibe with free, go ahead and smash that like button and feel free to subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and get started on this custom. Now, before we get into the custom, let's go ahead and do a quick rundown of the items you'll need. First off, you'll need a heat gun or a blow dryer or even a steamer, whatever you have, you can use it. Second is gonna be the dye for the soles. I went with the Rit Indigo. That'll be our first base for the initial dye. After that, we'll come in and hit it with Rit Dye, that's royal purple. Some leather, high quality paint, that's gonna allow you to paint the Jumpman logos. Now this stuff is very, very potent and very important. It's contact cement. You can also get barge cement. It's really what's recommended. The only reason I went with DAP is because the soles are gonna be purple and it won't make a difference if it's clear or not. One quick thing I wanted to share with you guys as I'm going and removing this sole from the shoe. With Air Jordan 11s especially, you have to be really careful because a lot of these ridges that are built into the sidewall of the shoe, they get really, really thin as you get, more and more closer to the upper. And as you get more and more closer to the upper, what you really risk doing is ungluing the midsole, and you do not want that. The way I look at it, whether you're a business owner or you're someone who just likes to customize sneakers and it's your passion like myself, taking your time is gonna end up saving you money for one, because if you mess up a client's shoes, you're gonna have to buy that client some new shoes and it's gonna put you in the drain. Not only will it put you in the drain, it'll put your reputation in the drain. So I can't stress enough, when you're using high heat, whether it be an actual heat gun or a hair dryer, take your time, work the sole, and just don't screw it up and don't be in a rush. Personally, I like to get the butter knife and kind of work my way in there and just slowly apply pressure and just really take my time because getting this off clean is gonna really save you in the long run. Also, when you're degluing the sole, do it section by section and don't heat up the entire shoe because then it just runs more risk. So just focus on a key area, unglue it, move to the next area, unglue it, etc. All right, guys, I'm finally back. Honestly, my method of trying to unglue these didn't go as smooth as it did on the other pair. So to prevent any further damage, I actually took it to a true professional named John. He lives in my area in Salt Lake City. He's the OG of customs. I'll go ahead and link his Instagram below. Definitely give him a follow. He's a real one. So what John did for me, he went ahead and took the sole off these 11s. Sometimes what might happen when you try to heat it is you can cause sole separation from the midsole. More importantly, the cement, it's so new, you can actually start doing some damage right here like I was kind of doing, trying to pull it off. So from now on, the easiest method is to leave these bad boys in the sun for a few hours, and then the soles should just peel right off the bottom and make your life a lot easier. So take this advice. The next step is we are going to dye these piss yellow soles purple. So like our custom earlier, it comes out as a deep royal purple. The first session, we're gonna go ahead and hit it with an indigo base. to kind of give it that solid form to build off. After the indigo sets in, we're gonna come back and do another full hour session with the royal purple. It'll give us that perfect sole color. And since that color is so deep, I don't really see a need of having to ice up these soles. It's gonna go ahead and hide a lot of that stuff anyways. So let's go ahead and start that process. Another thing I'd recommend is getting a Dremel. It allows you to sand the base of the sole and really kind of remove a lot of that adhesive so you don't have to work as hard. Also, you can go ahead and use that Dremel inside the shoe itself. That way, it's gonna make your job a lot easier. Let's go ahead and put some Rit Dye into the water. Really, you don't need to be super generous on this. You can kind of just dump it into the container here, and then we'll go ahead and fill this up with water. Let's go ahead and do that. Now that we got the dye prepped, another thing I forgot to mention, they mentioned putting in some salt. Really just kind of eyeball it. Also, you want to put a little bit of Dawn in the solution. I don't know why they tell you to do this. I'm just simply following the instructions. But now we can get the sole, go ahead and dunk her in and let it sit in there for an hour. Obviously get some tongs to kind of keep flipping it around every now and then. But let's go ahead and let this first coat do its thing. So the sole's been sitting in this for about an hour now, and it's got a nice blue tint to it. So we're gonna go ahead and repeat that process, except this time we're gonna go ahead and use the Rit purple dye. We'll go ahead and start that and then show you guys the end result. All right guys, so we're finally done with the dyeing process and the sole separation process. That honestly in this custom is what's gonna take most of the time. So now that the soles are not piss yellow, this is what you can kind of expect. The sole is a nice royal purple. Now the next step that we want to go ahead and accomplish is we want to go ahead and repaint the Jumpman logo here to a royal purple, as well as on the toe box right here, we're going to repaint that Jumpman as well. Once we're done painting the logos, the next step is going to be grabbing our DAP cement, so we can go ahead and cement these soles onto the midsole, and then that's a wrap for this custom. So let's go ahead and paint the Jumpmans right now. The paint I've opted for is Leather Studio. It's a high-end acrylic. I'm in the process of getting some Angelus paints, but I've actually found this stuff works very well. And then of course, you wanna make sure you get a very fine tip brush. That way, we can go ahead and start painting the Jumpman. First and foremost, the only reason I'm using this cement instead of barge cement is simply because I have some on the way. Not to mention this sole is a dark purple. So even though it's slightly off clear, it's not gonna matter if it's gonna be a little bit yellow in here because you won't even see the cement. So my advice when you're gluing these is you slowly wanna do section by section. Usually I'll start with the back section first, then I'll hit the mid section, the top section, and then I'll do the toe section very last. And then you slowly want to lay it on very, very accurately, because if you don't line these up, the worst thing that's going to happen is your sole is not going to be lined up with the design here on the 11. So you just got to take your time. I'm going to go ahead and start this back section first. First, you're going to want to apply cement to here as well as this. Go ahead and let that set. So let's go ahead and start that process. Now this part, you're just going to hold the pressure on it, and then this is where your tape's going to come in handy. So you want to get the tape. It's going to do all that hard work for you. Now the tape is going to go ahead and hold a lot of that pressure for you as it slowly cures and sets in here in the back. You guys can see now, we'll slowly go section by section, and we'll be good. So that's part one. Next we'll go ahead and do here and then there and then the toe area. Now once again, what we do, we'll get our tape. And then that's gonna allow us to keep that pressure down without having to do all that work. And now you guys can see we're almost there. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply cement to this section as well as here, leaving about that much to come in and do that toe box very last. So we're almost there, guys, and I'm excited for this final reveal. I'm gonna go ahead and let this do its thing for the next 20 minutes, and we'll go ahead and do this last little section.
I've been getting it since a toddler, I keep dollars on my head. Been a real one is my motto, handle my problems, I ain't scared. I put powder on my collar, cause she proud of what I said. I'm a leader, I got on follow, in my footsteps like the feds. I shoot like I'm Montana, chop up bullets, make them shit. Black on black, new phantom in the backseat sipping red. Bitch, I'm from Atlanta, with these hoes ready dick like pig. Condo like the pharmacy, I got codeine in my fridge. My bro on a steaming stove, cooking crack like grits. Got this vibe on a tippy toe, struggling in a pit. LA live, I'm staying at the lows with this Hollywood bitch. Got a 9 and a snub nose, can't wait to let it hit. Pull up with a stick, I pull up with a stick. I pull up with a pink toe, whipping, she sucking it deep. I put some diamonds on her toes, let her hold on and don't reach. We was used to pulling kick those, you can still call it a leak. I'm a leader, I got on follow, in my footsteps like the feds. I shoot like I'm Montana, chop up bullets, make them shit. Black on black, new phantom in the backseat sipping red. Bitch, I'm from Atlanta, with these hoes ready dick like pig. Condo like the pharmacy, I got codeine in my fridge.